How you doing? How you doing? It's Chris the Method Man, and this is my show, boys and girls. Today we have a special guest, assistant coach Chris Carrawell. Coach, it's a blessing, it's an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. No doubt.
So to start off, I know that you were a player and a coach with Coach K. So how was that? How was he as a mentor and as a coach, and how did he impact your life?
Coach K, yeah, he was everything. Having an opportunity to play for him a long time ago in the '90s. I'm getting old, man. It was tough, but he was tough on you. But he pushed you to be great, man. And so my 4 years at Duke, you know, some of the best, if not the best 4 years of my life. Certainly a time where Duke basketball was definitely on the scene, and to go to school and be a student athlete at Duke University, coming from inner city St. Louis was, man, you can't beat that. And then have an opportunity to work for him on his staff the last 4 years. Um, Man, I got bragging rights when I go back to St. Louis. The fact that I
Yeah.
was able to play for him and coach for the best college coach to ever coach and one of the best coaches of all time in any sport. So definitely fortunate, definitely pushed me, had an impact. Leader, the best leader, man, mentor, father figure that you could ask for.
Oh, you kind of froze up,
Oh yeah,
Coach.
what did you hear the last part?
You're about to say mentor, coach. Yeah, I think you're about to say it was kind of like your pops in a way.
Yeah, father figure. Yep, definitely. He was all those things in one.
Yeah. So do you think that it impacted your perspective as a father as well, from just being with Coach K and learning fatherhood, learning how to be a coach and a man from him?
I just I've had positive role models in my life. My high school coach, Preston Thomas, who's from Gary, Indiana. He was a big time role model. And I've had other men who were older that I've come across. My assistant coaches at Duke, of course, and just being around. But definitely Coach K. I mean, you just get to watch him. He was married with three daughters, and so he just set an example. Then he was a leader of 12, 13 men at the time, and so you got to see him up close and personal, and just like just what it is to be a basketball coach, but also a family man. He was a definitely big time family man. I remember he let us go. Some coaches in college don't let you go home for Christmas break.
Mm.
But every Christmas we were able to go home with our families, and I was able to go back to St. Louis for a few days because he believed in that. And so, like I appreciated that, but that's because he had daughters that he had to spend time with and probably purchase gifts and and then do all those things. But overall, man, the guy was one of a kind. He's one of a kind.
Yeah. So do you think being from the rough part of St. Louis, do you think that made you into the man that you are today? And do you think that's where you get your motivation from the people that you know that didn't have the opportunity to make it out? Like you're like that person who made it out. So are you, being from that part of the city of St. Louis, do you like get back to your community and you know like yeah.
Yeah. I just yeah. I mean, I just give my mom all the credit with that. Single parent mom. I got four. I'm the oldest of four. Three younger siblings, and it was tough. It was tough growing up inner city St. Louis, but that kind of shaped who I was. Going to the playground, playing on the playground court. You could go either way. When you growing up in those neighborhoods, you can go either way. You can go to the left or the right. I chose the right, but that was because my mom. My mom was tough. She was a tough lady. You had to go to church every Sunday. She wasn't going for it, and she was the leader, and so she was hardcore, but man, she was the best. And those inner cities, I'm sorry, you don't have, it's a lot of the fathers are not there, so a
Yeah.
lot of fathers are not there, so the leadership from a man, is to trust a man is you don't really see those male role models. And so
Yeah.
for you to make it out, you got to have a strong support system. For me, it was my mom, but also the guys in my neighborhood. They were some tough guys, drug dealers, gang members, but they made sure that that they saw like, yo, man, you can make it out, and so they protected our family.
Mm.
And I was able to make it out, and so my background is everything. I'm not afraid to talk about it. I love it. I wouldn't have had it any other way.
Yeah. And I feel like when a lot of us are in those situations, I feel like that our parents and the people who love us, the people, because in the Bible it says it takes a village to raise a child. So when everybody, like with a family, uncles, brothers, everyone, to help and mold you as a person, it's truly a blessing.
Yeah, definitely a blessing, man. And you know, I don't take it for granted. And I was blessed,
Yeah.
grace of God, and having that mom who kept us moving forward, onward and upward. She was everything.
Hmm. So going back in the day, you attended Cardinal Ritter College Prep, and y'all pretty good, Coach. So
Yeah,
so tell me about that, Coach. Like it said that y'all were also undefeated. So how was that?
yeah, nah. It was a great time. It was a great time, man. My 4 years, we won 2 state championships. Played with some great players, Lauren Woods, Jahidi White, Brian Brown. So I played with some guys that played in college, and it was a basketball school, and so we played teams all over the country. You look like you from New Orleans. You from New Orleans?
No, no, I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Baton Rouge. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's the
we
capital.
played. It's a school, Saint
Yes,
Augustine.
I
Yeah,
know
we
what you're talking
played in my senior year of high school. We played St. Augustine. They had a player named Lester Earl,
about.
and you got to look him up. He played college ball at Kansas, big time recruit, class of '96. So look up Lester Earl. But we played them in St. Louis, and we beat them. Got bragging rights on that, but nah, man, Cardinal Ritter was everything, man, everything. I love my school, private school, inner city St. Louis. It really helped prepare me for college. But I had a
Mm.
great time. It's a great school, and we got a big support system. All black too, all black private school, co-ed. So definitely, definitely.
So after your, I was reading your article after your tenure with, I guess playing for Duke. You started off as like in the office, like as an administrator and stuff like that. So was it, I guess, an adjustment from being a player to being part of the administration, an office person, to now being coach? Was it any adjustment from player to, I guess, worker?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it was. I played 7 years over in Europe, and when you finish playing, a lot of former athletes they don't know what they want to do next. And so for me, I was able to come back. I remember my wife was pregnant at the time, and so I'm just trying to figure out like what's next. And so I was in a kind of administrative role. I was the student outreach coordinator,
Mm.
2008, and so I worked closely with the students at the university, implementing programs in Durham, and so I got a chance to see that side. But I always knew I wanted to be not necessarily a coach, but be around the game of basketball. And
Mhm.
so, but I was able to work and get back to Duke and figure out what's next. And then the opportunity for me came up to be a grad assistant. I started low on the total pole, man. I was low, but those days, I had to work my way up. But I will say the most difficult thing for former athletes is figuring out what they want to do next. And it was difficult for me because you spend your entire life playing a sport, and so
Mhm.
now like, and what other skills do I have
Yeah.
that I spent some time trying to figure it out. And lucky for me, I was able to get a job, working at the university, and then move forward from there.
Okay. Well, Coach, I know there was like this controversy, and it
Mhm.
was the head coach of UNC, right?
Yeah.
New coach. Was there
Mhm.
like in that moment, like during the handshake after the game, was there any, I guess, beef or just any disrespect that you felt that that coach did?
No, no, no. I think that rivalry is such a heated rivalry,
Yeah.
and they kicked our tails. And so um I guess I let the rivalry get the best of me. So that's all that happened. Let the
Yeah.
rivalry get the best of me. Unfortunate situation because you don't want the kids to see, like, you shake everybody's hand, win or lose, and no matter what. And so I didn't do that, and I called Coach Davis and apologized. And it was a wild night. It was a night where a lot was going on. Coach K's final game in Cameron. You want to win, but you don't want to win and not be. I've always tried to be, classy. In that moment, I wasn't, and so definitely a mistake on my part. We've moved past that, and they got us in the Final Four, and I shook his hand. So it's like one of those things I would encourage. Like, even when you in heated moments and situations, you still got to be who you are, and who I am is a person like, hey, you beat me, I shake your hand, win or lose. If I beat you, I expect the same, and I didn't do that night.
I feel like in any sport, there's a sign of respect, but it's also a sign of disrespect when another man comes for my family. That's when I kind of have to like defend myself.
Yeah,
Like either when the Will Smith slap situation, that could have. I didn't like when Will slapped Chris Rock because I just felt like that was disrespectful. But when you actually show respect to a person, you're saying that, hey, I may not like you, but I respect you. Like,
100%, definitely, 100%.
yeah. So, Coach, do you think with Duke this season, do you think like the player Paulo Banchero, because he put up some numbers. How do you see him like as an NBA prospect, and how was he? I guess when you coached him, like how was he as a player?
Fantastic. Pablo's going to be he's a great prospect. I think he's the best player in the draft. Whether he goes number one or not, I really don't care. And I know people get caught up on one or who's going to one, or like, he's going to be a big time player, man, in the NBA. He's got
Mm.
all the skills. He's 6'10", 250, can put the ball on the floor. Hey, man, you see him in person. You looking up like, damn. He can
So,
shoot, he can handle pass, post. He
mm,
could, you know, he got all the skills, man. So he was a joy to coach. He's always in the gym. And whoever gets him, they're getting a player who's potentially could be an all-star. He has
mm,
that type of talent.
okay. So was there any? Because I know that you were also a head coach at Pittsburgh, right? So like, what was the reason for that? Was there any like what was the downfall of that, and what were the positives of that?
Uh, at, it's, I was never the head coach at Pitt.
So
That's
you're okay.
yeah. I've been assistant at that's Coach Capel, Jeff Capel.
Okay.
But now I've been an assistant at Marquette, and I worked in the D League actually. Now in the G League, prior to that, and 4 years at Marquette. Now I'm going into my 5th year back at Duga.
Mm-hmm. My apologies, coach.
That's all right. That's all right.
So do you feel like, just being a second rounder and playing for San Antonio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you were kind of overlooked in a way? And do you feel like, or you were at the place that you wanted to be? Like, God put you there. That's where you needed to be.
Yeah, I mean, no, San Antonio was a great spot for me. I didn't handle it the right way. I
Mm.
thought, I was a 2nd round pick. I thought I should have been a 1st round pick. And I went into their summer league. Back then we used to have an NBA summer league after the draft. And to be honest with you, I didn't play well, didn't have the right mindset or attitude. And it, but come preseason, I did play well. And I thought I was going to make the team. That didn't happen. That would have been a great spot for me. Coach Popovich is, of course, one of the
Greatest
great
coach
coaches
of all
of
time.
all time. Yeah, so I would point the finger at myself. I didn't have initially when I was drafted. I just didn't take it right. I didn't handle it the right way, and so, that's definitely a regret of mine. And I thought I played well enough to make the team in preseason. Because I played well in the games, but they were looking for championships, and so they didn't have time for guys who I wouldn't have said I was a problem, but I wanted to play, and I wouldn't have played that much as I was a rookie.
Mm.
Playing with Duncan and David Robinson and Avery Johnson. I mean, those
Yeah.
guys. I mean, the cream of the crop, man. So definitely an opportunity that was lost, but you live and learn.
Yeah. I mean, anything that you do, man, it's like the saying that a blessing might go away, but God's going to bring it back.
Absolutely, my man. No doubt.
In life, you're going to have failures. You're going to fail. You're going to be on your behind lots of times. But when you just have that faith, man, God's going to put you in a situation where you can play again, where you can play professional basketball. It may not be the NBA, but you playing overseas, you playing pro ball. So it's a blessing.
No doubt. No doubt.
I also want to go to playing overseas, coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading, like in 2006, you were the ABA MVP. And I was like, man, if the NBA didn't see that, they're stupid. I'm not going to say they're not stupid. They're stupid, but in that way, tell me about that experience. And another question, in 2007, you lost the championship. Do you think you have any regrets from any of those seasons that you played, or from that one season that y'all lost the championship? Any regrets?
No, man. I had a good time, man. I was able to play. My body kind of broke down towards the end, so kind of forces you to move in a different direction. But I had an unbelievable time. The 2006 playing in the ABA. I was coming off injury, so I was able to get my game back and play on a great team that won the ABA championship. And then, to go overseas for my last year, to go back over in Europe, and we lost to the #1 team, and we were right there with them. It just didn't work. But they were the best team. I put up great numbers, but we just couldn't come through. And we were missing one of our best players, but experience to play in Europe, man. I'm from St. Louis, so, and I've been to Australia. I played in Germany, Lithuania, Italy, Holland, so Philippines.
Yeah.
I played in Puerto Rico, Venezuela. Like, I was all over the globe, man. So to go to all these different places is like I said, man, something that I wouldn't be able to do if I hadn't played basketball. So I look at the good in that. Yep.
So do you feel like, I guess, returning back home after, playing in the ABA and now going to G League, do you feel like it was more of like a culture shock, just coming back to America after being overseas for like 10 years? Like, was there a culture shock coming back to U.S. after?
No. It's always a culture shock when you go over, but
Mm,
when you come back home, it's home. Home is home. Home is the U.S., the United States, man. And so, no, it was no culture shock. It just, I will say this though, Chris. The culture shock was coming back home when your career is like I said earlier, figuring out what you're gonna do next.
mm,
That was more of a shock, like trying to figure out like what's my next steps. So, I that was tough.
yeah.
Like, okay, what will I transition into next? That was probably the toughest thing about coming back home.
Mm. Yeah, because I mean, if I was in your situation, coach, man, I would have to do some hard praying.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
No, it was tough, but God, has pushed you through. I was able to, like I said, get in there from bottom up and work my way up.
Mm-hmm. What's the greatest advice that your coach or one of your family members ever given you?
Yeah, I think one thing that I live by, I try to live by, from those experiences when you fail is, and Coach K used this term, is next play.
Mm.
I think that's the key to life. One of the keys to life. Next play. No matter what's going on in your life, good or bad. Like it's, say you're playing basketball, you make a good play, you got to run back on the other end of the court and be ready for the next play. So, sometimes in life you come up short, fall up short. Are you going to sit there and dwell on your shortcomings, your failures, or are you going to get up and dust yourself off and move on? And so the game of life is what's next. And you see the most successful people in the world, they're always looking for new challenges. Man, why, man, they got all this money. Like, why would they? I want to, what's next? What else can I do? And I just think, you're young. How old are you?
I'm 20.
20.
20
Man,
years old.
Yeah, man, you're gonna do some great things in life, but you also gonna have some things in life that's not gonna go your way. And so the times where they're tough and man, you don't know where to, like, you always got to figure out like, okay, this is bad today, but man, tomorrow could be better. And so I always, encourage, think about what's next and try to figure out what's next and dust yourself off when you're down. And so next play is one of those things that I try to live by. It's not easy. It's not easy, of course.
No, it's not. No,
it's not easy, of course. But all if you could just have that mindset, I think it'd go a long way.
Dang. Well, coach, God was kind of he was talking through you to me, because I guess it was a moment where my grades got bad, and I worried a lot, and in that moment where you just said, it's just I'm gonna just live my life, because anything can go bad, man. But as long as I have my faith, I'm gonna be all right.
You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. You just got to keep pushing along, even when it's hard. It's hard to do when you feel like you can't. You're down and like, man, sometimes you feel like a failure. But at the end of the day, the failure is not moving on and not picking yourself back up, because you're gonna get punched. You're gonna get punched, and so how do you react from getting punched and pushed down? And like that's the key to life.
So you're saying if you stay in that situation, then it can continue.
Yeah, you got 5 minutes, man. You got 5 minutes. You got 10 minutes max. The woe is me is 10 minutes max. So now oh, well, my mom, I didn't all this stuff. People don't really care. Your mom might listen to, but at the end of the day, she gonna get tired of, that's why you got to move on. And so that's what happened with me when I didn't go drafted in the first round. I had this woe is me mentality. And the woe is me mentality messed me up for the Spurs. Instead of being like, oh, man, let's go. I don't care. Let's go. I'm in a great situation. I looked at it like, yo, I won a first round pick. I'm player of the year in the ACC. I was first team All-American. Why didn't this happen? Instead of dwelling on like what's going to happen next.
Yeah. So you're just looking at the pain with a blessing.
Absolutely.
Because honestly, a lot of people in life, it could be anybody, coach, even like professional athletes, football, basketball. I'm like, if you're playing the USFL, X League, Canadian Football League, the the NBL, you're still playing pro ball regardless. It's
right.
still a blessing.
It's still a blessing, man.
You know, like, why would you dwell on the past? Why would you dwell on that situation where you can just be balling out? And someone's going to look at you. It could be the NFL, could be the XFL, but it's still a blessing you playing pro sports, you know?
Right.
And I feel like if everybody gets out of that toxic mindset and like, why me? You'll be better off. You'll be a more happy person.
No doubt.
You know?
No doubt.
So, Coach, any advice for any potential recruits that want to go to Duke or who want to be just successful in anything in life? What is your advice to them?
Man, just keep working. You know, I just keep working. You know, just stay in the gym. You know, and no matter where you're located, from Baton Rouge to New York City to LA, California, like we know where you're at. So if you just working, man, we'll find you. Just find, you know what I'm saying? Just stay in the gym. Whatever you have a passion for, take that passion and put 100,000% in there. And if you know, if it's God's will, and you have the talent to be recruited by Duke, we'll find you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I realize a lot of times in life that if it's not God's will, God's going to change your plans.
Yeah, no doubt.
You gotta be grateful.
Yeah.
God can change my plans right now, and I'm still gonna be happy. I'm still gonna be at peace.
No doubt.
Because he knows what's behind the door. If it's someone trying to stab me in the back, God's gonna stop that from happening. So, man, I feel like in life, if people just let go and just let God do the work, it'll be better.
It'll be better, man.
It'll be better. I'll be more at peace. I won't be worried.
Right.
You know, I can live my life.
No doubt.
I mean, yeah, I make mistakes. Who doesn't? And I feel like a lot of people try to be perfect. A lot of people try to put on this facade and be like, oh, man, I don't have any flaws.
Right.
Nah, you lying, man.
Right. No, you're right, Chris, man.
It's another day to make it right.
Right.
Do better.
Right. Well, yeah, man. Well, Chris, man, you got a bright future, man. You keep doing your thing. I'm glad you had me on the show. You just keep moving forward, brother. You got a bright future, good-looking kid, man. You just keep going, all right?
I got you, Coach.
All right, man. You take it easy.
All right, Coach. Hey, Coach, post this on your story.
Okay.
All right.
I will, man.
All right, appreciate it. Appreciate you.
All right, bro. All right, man. All right.
All right. That was Chris Carrawell, assistant coach of Duke. Man, humbling human being. Good advice giver, man of God, man. That was a blessing. That really put up my spirit. And I thank God for him for coming on, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Y'all subscribe, man, at Chris the Method, man. Y'all stay blessed. And y'all have a good night. Peace out.